Hey, I thought I had a video for Zotero, but apparently I don't. So here's my updated Zotero video. This is Dale the Librarian's quick and dirty how to get into Zotero in the least amount of time with maximum effectiveness. Well, I don't know. We'll see how maximum that is. So the first thing you want to do is go to zotero.org. Zotero is a free citation manager that has a cloud um, area where you save your data with a login. So the first thing that you need to do is register with the login. And this is a free service, so you can use any email you like, including your UView email. Oh, there's an upgrade storage option. That's cool. I think it sometimes saves articles for you. But if you go to the download section after that, you'll find the other two pieces that you need. One is Zotero 5. Whatever computer you're on, including ones at the University of Utah Library, Zotero typically is installed. And as long as you remember your login, you can move between those and it'll always send up to that cloud connection, which is really cool. So if you find something on someone else's computer, you can always upload it. And there's also a web version of it too, which is a little clunkier. The one that sits on your computer looks like this. There's just a whole bunch of citations that I'll show you how to use this in just a moment. But that's what that it's the client side. It's on the computer side. The second thing you need is the Zotero connector. That's what this little thing right here is. That's the thing that when your client side is open and you're in a website that you want to gather data from, this connector will grab that data and stick it into your Zotero folder. That's a lot of words. What does that all mean? I will show you. So I was interested in carrots, so as a sample search. So what I want to do in Zotero, whenever I grab some of that citation information, it's going to automatically dump it into the folder that I'm currently in. So I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm going to call it carrots. Can't get enough of them carrots. It's just an empty folder. If I go back and I go to I just did a library catalog search, and I'm like, oh, I'm really interested in microwave-assisted convective drawing of carrots. Which, to be honest, I'm not. When you're in this is called a record. The record has all sorts of metadata. So it's got like the title of the article, the authors, maybe where it was published, maybe who the people were, like do they come from a certain place, what journal it's published in, the date, the volume, the page numbers, metadata. When you have, okay, I'm going back here, I have my carrots folder, got my Zotero open, I've got my connector right here. If I click on that, what's going to happen is it's going to screen scrape all that metadata in a very organized way, and it's going to dump all that metadata right in here. Isn't that cool? Let's do another one. What happens if I'm in a database and I found, so I have 50 results for carrots, and I'm like, these are the results I want. I don't want to go through them one by one. I want to grab everything, or sift through it as we go. Again, if you're in a database or something like that, you can click on the connector, and instead of giving you one, it's going to say, well, which ones do you want? There's 50 to choose from. So I can say, oh, I want the development and evaluation of a mechanical carrot washing machine. How cool is that? That one I'm actually interested in. But all the ones you can just pick randomly or intensively. This is something so you can grab these and then review them later, because it grabs the abstract so you can read that. When you click on OK, it's going to grab all the articles that you selected. Looks like I grabbed 5. Accuracy of carrot yield forecasting. I'm a carrot yield forecaster. Wouldn't that be an awesome job? And there it is. What happens if there's something in there where I'm just like, oh, this is why I picked this? Because oftentimes if you grab a bunch of articles, later you'll go back and you're like, why the heck did I pick that? When you highlight one of them, you can add a child note, and it will be a little notes field below it where you could put in, here's a great quote, and then copy the quote from the abstract. And I'm like, oh yeah, the glucothene carboestrase and acetylenterases levels were observed to increase in the black carrot applied group. That's critical to my research. And I can say, here's my great quote. So as you're organizing these and you're doing a literature review, these child notes are probably the key for you organizing things and figuring out why did you pick something, and you can compare. If you grab two articles on the same thing, you can compare and contrast the two. What if I want to grab a website? So here's the carrot industry of America or something like that. And if you go to a website, it's going to grab whatever metadata it can. And it might be kind of random. So we don't have an author, we have a title, we've got a URL, but it's missing some of the other data. You can add stuff like this, or you can carrot industry of America. You can add it. You can edit and add all these different items to your metadata as you go. So if it's an incomplete citation, you can always go back and add it. Okay, what do we do when we want to report to somebody and say, hey, this is the citations that I've got? Oh, and by the way, I never have to click save. This is automatically backed up to my cloud version of this. So if this computer suddenly blew up, I would still have access to all these citations. They're not lost as long as they exist here, and it's synchronizing via a web connection. So I want to send this off to a professor and say, hey, look at all the research I've done. If you select everything and you right-click, you can export the items. You can create a bibliography from items. This is the one that I do most commonly. Let me show you what we get. It's going to say, what style do you want? This is what I initially used this for, because this was one of the few ones that did IEEE. Let's say you're doing APA or MLA. You can say what language you want it in. Do you want the whole bibliography or just citations? And you can copy to the clipboard. I'll copy to the clipboard. What does that look like? This is the miracle of miracles. This is why I adore this database. So I'm going to add another child note just to show you. But if I was sending off an email, you remember when I copied a clipboard? I'm going to do a control paste. And there are my citations. What if the citation style is not long enough? I can do the whole bibliography. Let's see what that does. Looks like these are the citations that you would insert in your text as you went. And then these are the citations you would use in your reference list or your bibliography at the end. It's a miracle. A modern science these days. This has been Dale the Librarian. You can reach me at dale.larson@utah.edu. I'm happy to answer questions. Have a good one.